In what was and still is a male-dominated genre, it is very important to not lose sight on women's influence and participation in rap. The year 2019 especially has seen women dominate the genre. After a period where Nicki Minaj was the main and sole face of women in rap for nearly a decade, the genre has seen a women's renaissance of sorts in recent times as new artists have found their lane in the scene. With Cardi B's arrival, it seemed whatever invisible gate that kept artists other than Nicki Minaj from shining had opened. Now we have several anthems such as Bodak Yellow, Act Up, Twerk, Big Ol' Freak, My Type, and more, as well as the likes of artists such as City Girls, Cash Doll, Saweetie, No Name, Rhapsody, Cupcake, Lizzo, and Doja Cat, just to name a few. So in this video, I wanted to highlight 3 female artists who are killing the game right now and who are featured in this year's XXL Freshman list. I want to give a bit of background on them and paint them based on their themes and styles within their music. And that is Tierra Whack, Rico Nasty, and Thee Stallion. Listening to Tierra Whack's music feels like frolicking through a field of flowers in a part Dr. Seuss musical, part critically acclaimed teenage indie film. Hailing from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Tierra Whack has been on the rise to stardom. She's been referred to by many as the Missy Elliott of this generation, and for good reason. Tierra Whack has created this image of herself that is visually distinct and warmly abstract. This was first evident to me when I discovered her about 3 years back with her song Child Please on her SoundCloud, where her zany lyrics were so new and unique in the period of repetitive flows and predictable lyrics from other artists. Visually, this was evident from her video Mumbo Jumbo, which earned a Grammy nomination. For me, what's most distinct about her sound is her usage of her voice. Depending on the track, her voice can be very cartoonish or intriguingly monotone. In a good way. For example, on Fuck Off, she puts on a playful cowgirl accent to show how unbothered she is.
So sick, so sad. Whenever I'm happy, it makes you.
While on Bug's Life, she delves into a more somber tone and introspective verse, thinking about what could have been of her success if she was born different.
Niggas coming up short, where's the other half? Even if my eyes closed, they won't fucking crash.
She has some serious tracks like Bug's Life and Four Wings, and in contrast, a song like Pet Cemetery is a joyful, whimsical track, which at first appears to be a lighthearted song about her dog, but rather it's an extended metaphor about one of her friends who passed away. She even dives into slow, crooning R&B tracks like Dr. Seuss and Waze from time to time. Her instrumentals are very spacey and vibey, sometimes bouncy and eccentric. Kanete Sims and Veruto are responsible for producing this eerie and peculiar sonic palette that further brings out Tierra's unique character and personality on wax. Also adding to her interesting character is how she delivers hooks and punchlines. Her punchlines are very tongue-in-cheek, using references or wordplay that are fairly relatable.
I'm taking over. You're overweight, you ate a soda. I'm super sober, you doing coke. Coca-Cola, ahead of you.
Whack World is almost like an exhibit installation, a display of the many different flows, styles, and melodies she's capable of making. So that's what I tried to capture in this illustration. I aimed for a slightly impressionist, Picasso-esque art style mixed with a contemporary bright color palette. Because that's how her music sounds to me, if I were to convert her musical style into a visual translation. I used some of her iconic outfits as references and sort of combined them all. I love this sort of top-knot, high-bun hairstyle, the multi-glasses look, with some earring inspired by the eyes she wore on another outfit. And then she had this bright yellow fluffy coat that I thought would make the rest pop. So as I colored it in, I tried to contrast it with the turquoise background. I gave her some face paint to make it look a bit more abstract, and I patterned the background with traditional Adinkra and African symbols, as she's from Philadelphia, which is a cultural mecca that is intrinsic to the history of the diaspora, built on the backs of the ancestors who made the birth of the US possible. And there you go. That's Tierra Whack.
I miss my dog. I kiss my dog.
When you listen to Rico Nasty, you can't help but make this face. Rico Nasty is an artist who was born in New York City, but grew up in Prince George's County, Maryland. She sometimes goes by the nickname Taco Bella, and I first discovered her with the song iCarly at a time after Lil Yachty had gone viral. And from this track alone, she came across as simply a female interpretation of that bubbly pop rap sound.
She was my hitter, I was her robber. When the plug fronted us, we was goners. None of my bitches is boring, K. All of my bitches is scoring, ayy. All of my bitches is foreign, ayy. All of my bitches are foreign.
However, when I heard her song Poppin', I saw that her style had a unique edge to it that made her stand out amongst her contemporaries.
No motherfucking playground, bitch, we don't play round.
I would describe her sound as punk rock meets trap. I think where she really shines is when she raps over guitar riff trap instrumentals or bassy stereo crashing beats. I would say she's not that much of a lyricist because at the core, she is a trap artist going over 808s heavy beats with sometimes auto-tuned melodic songs. But she stands out from the crowd in many ways because a lot of her appeal and talent accrue from her ability to manifest the feeling of dominant feminine energy through her music. Her delivery is fierce and unrelenting, like she's really trying to scrap with whoever tries to cross her, you know? Her most hyped songs feel like getting punched in the face, but liking it.
Motherfucker! You hit me in the ear!
Well, Jesus, I'm sorry.
Ow! Christ! By the ear, man!
I fucked it up.
Oh, that was perfect!
It's a literal sonic manifestation of a mosh pit. Her collab project, Anger Management, with Kenny Beats especially is filled with songs that capture that adrenaline-fueled energy with loud tracks, with loud vocals, and creative sample flips. Yo! So for her drawing, I went for a brightly colored line art based on the style of Jet Set Radio. If you don't know, Jet Set Radio was a video game series revolving around a gang of counterculture inline skaters who sprayed the city of Tokyo in graffiti as an act of protest. The game was known for its memorable art style and soundtrack, both of which were based on punk and hip-hop themes modeled after New York and Japanese culture. I thought that really illustrated the sound of her music. As I did with Tierra Whack, I based Rico's outfit on a couple of her iconic looks. One where she has braids, and another where she has a camo outfit on. To be honest, my drawing here is a lot more tame than her normal outfits. But I really wanted to capture the art style as my main focus. The blue shadowing really made the color stand out, and the orange was a nice contrast to the blue and green. And there you go. That's Rico Nasty.
$250,000 check, I work like I did it. I just got my first crib and stainless steel in the kitchen.
Tell us about your hot girl summer, Wendy, please. What
definition of a hot boy summer?
What is this hot girl summer?
Hot girl summer, you know she got it in.
Handle me? Who gon' handle me?
Thee Stallion, also known as the leader of the Hot Girl Army, gained a huge following in a record amount of time. She's an artist hailing from Houston, Texas, and I first discovered her when a video of her in the Houston Cypher went viral, where she was a clear standout in the rap session.
Work it out, roll it like a Jamaican. He call my phone when I'm on the road. See if I'm alone, then I go up in the bedroom and give him what he wants.
Her flow was so seamless, and her commanding performance stole the show, as many fell in love with her instantly. And now, she's taken over the entire summer of 2019, coining the term hot girl summer that's been used everywhere. It's a cultural phenomenon spawning memes, brand endorsements, and remixes. Who she is and what she embodies allows her fans to relate to her, and this enabled her to become one of the forefront rappers encouraging women to freely express their sexuality. From one of her more popular songs, Big Ol' Freak, she raps,
I got him addicted, he fiendin'. My body a drug and he need it. He begging me for the treatment. He throwing fit when I leave him. He like.
Lyrics like that are a great example of how women can take the reins of a relationship and be in control. Other lyrics like,
He know he giving his money to Megan. He know it's very expensive to date me. Told him go put my name on that account because when I need money, I ain't tryna holler.
from her song Catfish, is another great example of how women can feel empowered and enjoy their hot girl summer. Megan is very open and unashamed in her lyrics, and she displays this with a direct and to the point delivery. Honestly, her content is not much different than what men have been rapping about for decades, only it's coming from a woman's perspective. And that's why she has so much support behind her, because she has bars with a personality and twerks to back it up. No pun intended. For her illustration, I was straightforward with her painting. Megan Thee Stallion is upfront about everything she represents, from her bars to her outward sexuality. I based her look straight off the reference you see here of her riding in a chopper. I wanted to give her more of a biker, hot girl look, and going for the crimson hair was inspired by her common red hair look, especially as she's based it off of Todoroki from the anime Boku no Hero Academia. My technique here is different. I start with basic shapes, add details to that body part, and then branch out to the next part of the body to rinse and repeat. And so I used a textured brush to give that epic painting feel, almost reminiscent of a 70s movie poster. And because she's Thee Stallion, well, I put her on the stallion. And that's Megan Thee Stallion. Women in rap are killing it right now. They've taken over 2019, the floodgates are open, and new female artists are entering the scene with each passing day. I'm excited to see what's in store next as the gender imbalance in hip-hop closes more and more.
Yeah, can the flex. Talk to my girls north, south, east, and west.